Meek Mill was never the person that I thought I knew. You see, because I've always kept an ear to the battle scene back in the day when it was just a mixtape distribution situation. Where you could pick up, bootleg mixtapes of, certain artists being featured. Maybe there was a battle or two, random the video of a chick shaking her ass. Basically, world star hip hop on a monthly CD. Whether you were picking up the Street Sweeper series, I think, the Smack, the Smack shit, and there was another one that was pretty popular that I can't remember. So Meek was always featured on these DVDs, and I always saw Meek from a distance, and as I saw Meek, I always had him figured out to be a guy that was a street dude, somebody who can't be questioned as far as his ignorant validity, as far as the things that he would do behind, when he's not behind the mic. And I also figured him to be somebody who was ready to get it on lyrically at any moment. So I've never seen a situation where somebody is a completely different person when they become a quote unquote established artist. I mean, the fact that he started this whole thing way back in summer of 2015, and now he's responding with the I'm the Plug Freestyle, where he says, was that my girls tour, the world tour? I don't know what you pussy niggas going for. And then he makes certain jabs at Drake about flying a certain groupie to an island when Meek just casually fucked this chick. Whatever he's trying to get across here. I mean, those kind of things don't work against Drake. You can't really shame him in that area when, if you know his catalog, you know that he'll be the first to admit that he's a bit of a Captain Save-A-Ho. He'll fly a chick out and he feels ashamed about it. So it doesn't really work, because I think we really understand Drake, and we know that he's a bit of a fuckboy at times, or he presents himself to be a fuckboy on certain songs. So it doesn't work. And I'm just baffled. And, just like much of you out there really isn't much to say about the situation other than who cares? Who cares about some guy who starts something and then, decides to add it? You have a argument with a person, and you're having an argument with them, and maybe the argument's over, everybody's left the room, and maybe you come back 2 hours later and you say, and one more thing, I just it doesn't matter anymore. The argument's over. You see, there's a certain grace period, and the grace period has gone way over way over the time that it needed to be. I mean, I would argue that if something was released, I would say a month after back to back, I think that would have been too late. And as far as Want to Know, I mean, that was considered to be such a light jab that, based on Meek's past, everyone just kind of felt like, nah, you got something better in you. You got something a lot better than this in you, and we don't even consider this a proper response. We'll wait for your real response. So I'll never understand this whole scenario. Of course, people out there can have their theories. They can say that this whole thing was staged, that this was, just a ploy to beef up Drake's persona as being, as being looked at more as an MC, something beyond just a heartthrob and a fuckboy. A lot of people can have their theories, but if we look at the raw data and what happened, this will always be one of the most confusing things that I've ever seen happen in rap music. I've never seen someone start something, get the reaction that they pretty much should have guessed that they would have gotten. Unless it was a situation where Meek thought that he could just throw shots at Drake, sort of in the same way that Eminem would throw shots against, 98 Degrees or fucking In Sync and Limp Bizkit back in the day, and not really get a response. Or even if he did get a response, I mean, what was it really going to come to? I mean, it wasn't going to add up to much. Unless that's what he had thought was going to happen, he pretty much got a reaction that was like, okay, I'm with it, and just didn't show up. And now he puts out this I'm the Plug freestyle, and it doesn't matter. I mean, it could have been the greatest diss record of all time. It could have been the most well-executed, lyrical fucking assassination of all time. But when it doesn't have the timing and the momentum, it means nothing. You know? People could make a case and say that even if it was 2 months after the fact, well, it took you this long to come up with those lines, let alone, I don't know, what is this, like fucking 4 or 5 months? I have no clue. I've lost track of time. Meek Mill is lost in the grand scheme of things as far as rap music. He has totally tarnished whatever it is that he, you know, whatever piece of integrity that Meek could ever hold on to, you know, being an artist on MMG and at least being looked at as, you know, one of those gritty artists, you know, one of those pit bulls on a leash, you know, sort of in the same way that like Beanie Siegel was for Rockefeller, you know what I'm saying? And they're both from Philly, because Philly just has that feel about it, that culture about it. Like, look, Philly niggas, when it goes down, Philly niggas are the last ones that you want to fuck with as far as, you know, bars, exchanging bars. You know, that's also a city that produced fucking Cassidy. You know what I'm saying? And it also produced Will Smith. You know, that's just another thing I'm just throwing out there too. But it's just very confusing. So he drops this diss. What do you guys think about this diss record? I mean, that's all I could really dig into as far as, you know, what I heard about, you know, the you know, with the groupie, and then having that little line about, you know, is that my world tour? And there wasn't really much of a line. He just, you know, just sort of just said what Drake said. But what do you guys think about the diss record? Are there any Meek Mill fans out there that just don't agree with what I have to say? I just can't imagine that there's many of you out there anymore. I'm sure there are people that support Meek's music. I myself enjoy Meek's music when I'm exercising because, you know, the fucking high tempo. But anything outside of that, I just can't fuck with it. And this makes me fuck with it a lot less. So let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time.